All right, guys, quick breakdown for every single fight on UFC Fight Night. Fluffy Hernandez versus Sean Strickland. I'm going to make my way from the early prelims all the way up to the main event. Here we go. Let's not waste anybody's time. Let's get this started with. We're taking Carly Judice to beat Juliana Miller. She's just a much better fighter. I know she lost to Kara Kate, but Carly Judice is very, very well-rounded fighter. She keeps everybody on the end of her punches, and that's big because Juliana Miller needs to get inside for the clinch. She's a jiu-jitsu girl. She won Ultimate Fighter, but she's kind of soy. She's a soy girl, right? She's a jiu-jitsu practitioner, which with no like good wrestling. So I think Carly Judice is going to keep her on the end of the punches, maybe even TKO her, but I can definitely see her win this fight easily by decision, 30-27, maybe even hurt her to the body a couple times. I think she's the much better fighter. I'll take Carly Judice easily. Next, we have Yadier Del Valle versus Jordan Leavitt. Jordan Leavitt going down featherweight. That's a mistake. Take Yadier Del Valle to beat Jordan Leavitt. Yadier Del Valle is an explosive fighter, right? You saw him versus Isaac Dolgarian. Even though Isaac Dolgarian might have been a little swayed with losing and paid off, he looked really good. He looked explosive and he looked quick twitch. I like to see that Jordan Leavitt going down from 155 to 145 and is not even close to being the most athletic 155er that they have. I have to be thinking that Jordan Leavitt's going to lose this fight pretty easily. Yadier Del Valle might be just too quick twitch, too athletic. I don't think Leavitt can get him down. He's too slow. He was slow at 155. At 145, he's going to be much slower. That's just how it goes. Jean Paul Lebosnoyani versus Bill Rowe. So Jean Paul fights out of California. He's a good fighter. He's a very good fighter. I like the way that he grapples. I like the way that he strikes. Phil Rowe is a veteran. He's been there. He's done that. He just lost to Ange Lusa in a fight that he came back to. He lost to Sang Won Ko. He fought against very, very good prospects. I think that he's going to lose this fight. I think Jean Paul might be too much. Phil Rowe accepts bottom position too much as well because he does train BJJ. He grapples in competitive competitions. I'll take Jean Paul to win this fight. I think he's better. I think he's more in his prime right now. Punahele Soriano versus Ramiz Brahimaj. I'll take Punahele Soriano to beat Ramiz Brahimaj. Soriano has good power, but very good wrestling. Ramiz Brahimaj, I've seen him being taken down by Court McGee, and I'll never unsee that in my life. And if a pressure wrestler like Soriano, who uses his size as a former middleweight, going down to welterweight, looking really good versus Uros Mendes, looking very good against other opponents, he's going to beat Ramiz Brahimaj via decision. I think he's going to tire him out. I can even see maybe Ramiz Brahimaj winning the third round and Soriano trying to survive. But I think Soriano is good enough in the striking, and he's capable enough taking him down to basically secure this win via control, 10-minute control, 8-minute control sort of thing, banking 2 rounds early. That's why I think to see this fight going. Nora Cornolle versus Jocelyn Edwards. This is a rematch. Nora Cornolle beat her last time via decision. I'll take Cornolle again. She's nastier. Jocelyn Edwards is a good when her BJJ is trash, but she's a very good striker. Nora Cornolle is very good at being grimy, being a brawler, and being on top. When she's on top, she wins the fights. She doesn't let people up. I think Nora Cornolle's going to do the same thing she did to Jocelyn Edwards the first fight. Make it grimy. Make it like a brawl, like I just said. Make it a fight instead of making it like a technical stand-up battle, right? That makes sense to me. I think Nora Cornolle's going to win via decision. Alden Coria, or maybe even via sub. I can see you're subbing her too. Alden Coria versus Luis Gurule. Luis Gurule's not that good. He has short arms. He's not that good. I'm going to take Alden Coria. He's a decent striker. He's not really great anywhere, but he's a decent striker. He came in on short notice, won his last fight, I believe, but he came in on short notice. Alden Coria, give me a sec. He came in on short notice. He's a good fighter. He was a big underdog too, I believe, right? Yeah, versus Alessandro Costa was a big underdog. Costa got hurt in that fight. That's what happened. And then Luis Gurule, he lost his his fight last time, where I picked him to win, but he didn't do it versus Jesus Aguilar. Jesus Aguilar just put the smoke on him, basically tired him out, won easily. And I think Aldo Coria is a good enough fighter to get this win over Luis Gurule. Luis Gurule does go forward a lot, and Aldo Coria has decent punches. So I'm going to take Aldo Coria to kind of piece him up, especially the smaller fighter. I think Aldo Coria is going to be too elusive for him. Next is Ode Osbourne versus Alibi Idiris. Alabi used to fight on the Ultimate Fighter on DC versus Chael Sonnen, and Ode Osbourne, he just had a very impressive loss to Steve Erceg where you rock Steve Erceg. I'm going to be taking Alibi Idiris. I think he's better. He has really good wrestling, but decent grappling, as in on top. He has good grappling, good control. And Ode Osbourne, the one problem with him is his BJJ is not good. He has very good striking and he's very quick. But Alibi's a very, very, very quick fighter as well. I think there's just levels, and I think Alibi is a really good fighter. I think Steve Erceg is a really bad matchup for him and a really good matchup for Ode Osbourne because Steve Erceg is very methodical, very slow, not really athletic, and I think that gave Ode Osbourne the timing and being a quick twitch guy. It gave him a lot of benefits. But versus Alibi, I think Alibi's better. His striking is not as good, obviously, but Alibi he gets stuck in submissions as well. But I don't think Ode Osbourne's submission threats are that good. So I'm gonna take Alibi to win this fight. I think he's gonna get it done. Next is Carlos Leal versus Chidi Njokuani. I think Carlos Leal is gonna win this fight. I think he's a better fighter. Chidi, he does like to stay out of range, which might be a problem for a guy like Carlos Leal. Chidi could be like a Sabu C if you guys watch PFL. I could see that happening where he's just like being a matador and staying like he's either all the way in or all the way out, not in that boxing range, being more in that kickboxing range. I could see that happening. I think that Chidi is a really good fighter, but I think that Carlos Leal, his last fight where he went berserk and lost to Muslim Salikov, was a wake-up call. Like, hey, I can't just be a marauder and just go forward on everybody like I did versus Alex Morono. I have to actually take my time. And I think that Chidi's gonna press forward. I think Chidi's gonna win this fight. Carlos Leal, I mean, he was good at PFL, but this again, Sabu C, he showed me that like, hey, like if I go forward, if Chidi goes forward and keeps range, and if Carlos Leal is being more tentative, then I think this fight in a technical stand-up match. Next is Zach Reese versus Michelle Pereira. Zach Reese has no chin. I'm gonna take Michelle Pereira. I think Michelle Pereira is kind of washed right now. I think he's kind of over fighting. I think the divorce that he had with his wife really hurt him, and he hasn't been really focused, and he's been losing to Cal Dawkins, losing to Fluffy Hernandez the way he lost to him. I think those are really bad losses. But Zach Reese has never fought somebody that good, and Zach Reese was kind of. I saw Cody Brundage knock him out via slam. So I can't really trust this shit. I think Michelle Pereira is going to go back to starching these guys in the first round like he did to Michael Olakjacek, like he did to all these other guys when he moved up from the welterweight to the middleweight division. I think Michelle Pereira is just that much better than these guys. So I think Michelle Pereira is going to get it done for Zach Reese in the first round. Josiah Harrell versus Jacoby Smith. Jacoby Smith is a real prospect. Harrell's reach is really bad. I mean, I remember him. His reach is really bad. He's not that good of a fighter, honestly. I'll take Jacoby Smith to win this via decision. He could probably ground and pound him too. I don't think Harrell's really good anywhere. I think Jacoby Smith is more athletic, more explosive. His striking needs work, right? We saw him versus Nico Price. It needs work, but he's a better striker. I mean, I don't think Josiah Harrell is that good of a fighter at all. I don't know if he's UFC caliber. So I'm going to be taking Jacoby Smith. He's probably a massive favorite. I have no idea what the odds are, but he's probably a massive favorite. But that's what I'm going to be picking. It's Jacoby Smith. Sergey Spivac versus Ante Delija. I think Sergey Spivac's going to win this fight. I think Sergey Spivac's better than Ante Delija. Delija is good going forward, but Sergey Spivac, his judo throws are nasty, and if they're clinched up, he's going to be on top of Ante Delija. Delija is not a great grappler, even though that's like his calling card at PFL. He's not a great grappler. He's a decent grappler, but when he's on bottom, he gets destroyed, and he gets ground and pound. And Sergey Spivak, he can judo throw him, he can toss him around like he did to Marcin Tybura, and have a sneaky submission over Ante Delija. So I'm taking Sergey Spivak to win this fight. I have no idea who's favored, but I'm taking Sergey Spivak to win this fight. I think he's going to submit Ante Delija. I think he's better. So I'll take that. Next is Dan Ige versus Melquizael Costa. Melquizael Costa impressed me his last fight versus Morgan Charrier. I took Dan Ige. I'm going to take Dan Ige to win this fight. Dan Ige is very durable. He doesn't really get hurt that much. I think the last time I really saw him get stunned hard was versus Josh Emmett. I saw Lerone Murphy kind of put it on him too in the third round, and so did Pitbull, but not really like hurt that bad. And Costa is a very, very good first round fighter. So I expect Dan Ige to be on his P's and Q's and kind of wait out the first round the same way he did for Sean Woodson, and then come out in the second round and third round trying to win it and win via decision on the scorecards. I'll take Dan Ige to win second and third round to win this 29-28. Costa, good BJJ, good he has good offense, but defensively you saw him struggle versus a guy like Steve Garcia, someone with big punching power. Dan Ige, he throws bombs. Dynamite Dan Ige, that's what he's called. So he throws a lot of bombs. I'll take Dan Ige to win this fight. Jeff Neal versus Udos Medic. Udos Medic is a very good fighter, right? But his chin is lacking. He doesn't like getting punched in the face, and I'll take Jeff Neal. A lot of people are talking about Udos Medic is the next big guy, but I think Jeff Neal, his boxing is just too clean for a guy like Udos Medic. Jeff Neal's seen the great strikers. You have to understand, he fought Carlos Prates, he fought Shavkat, he fought Ian Gary, and now you give him a guy like Udos Medic who's a little bit lower tier in the striking class from those guys, even though he's known as a striker. I'll take Jeff Neal, who's a very, very good boxer, very sound defensively. He took a long layoff right after that Carlos Prates KO. I think it's around 5-6 months already. 4 months in November, I believe. So 4 months off. He took a long time. I think he's going to win this fight. I think he's better than Udos Medic. If he's an underdog here, definitely take Jeff Neal. He's better. Yeah. And he's fighting in Texas where he's from. So I like him there as well. He's going to be ready to fight, ready to go. Sean Strickland versus Anthony Hernandez. This fight is very tough, honestly, because I like both these fighters. I love Anthony Hernandez. I love his pressure style, that washing machine he puts people in, from the back take to the half Nelson to grabbing the handcuff. Like, he does a lot of stuff on the cage side, on the ground. That's amazing to see, where you're like, damn, Roma Delija struggled. And Roma Delija is a very, very capable BJJ artist. And then you have Sean Strickland, who is known as a striker now, but he used to grapple, and people was telling me this guy can still grapple. I don't know. I can't take Sean Strickland, honestly. I'm going to be taking Anthony Hernandez. I think Anthony Hernandez in the first round is gonna put a pressure on Sean Strickland, where you can see Sean Strickland start backing up a little bit, the same way Dricus du Plessis was doing to him. And Anthony Hernandez is going to go for the takedowns. I saw Sean Strickland get taken down by Abus Magomedov. Remember that. We saw that. I think Anthony Hernandez is a better fighter right now. I think he's more in his prime. I think Sean Strickland is very, very good still, but I think the styles that he was fighting was tailor-made for him, right? The Paulo Costa doesn't go for takedowns, okay? Dricus du Plessis doesn't go for takedowns, right? And the only person that really, Nasruddin doesn't go for takedowns a lot, right? The only person that really Sean Strickland struggled with was Abus Magomedov, who went for takedowns, even though he didn't tire him out, and he ended up being tired himself. Anthony Hernandez is a different beast than Abus Magomedov. I'll take Anthony Hernandez to win this fight. He hasn't lost in like 4 or 5 years. He's on a roll. He feels like he's unbeatable. That's a big thing too. Sean Strickland, he has a couple losses just recently, right? The Dricus du Plessis losses were big. So I think I'm going to take Anthony Hernandez. I don't know if he's a favorite. I don't know if he's an underdog. I haven't checked the odds yet. I have to stay true to the game, and we'll see. But those are my picks. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Like, subscribe. Thank you so much. Hopefully I get more than 2 views, huh?